How's it going, everyone? Mike the Warhost here with a slightly different video than the usual fare. Today we're going to be doing a bit of baseless speculation in regards to the future of upcoming releases, all stemming from a single image. Because who doesn't like running rampant and pulling theories out of the ether based on a single scrap of information? Over the weekend, Warcradle released this spoiler image for the upcoming pre-releases at the end of September. Not much to go off of, right? Looks like some odd bit of dystopian age tech, or maybe a fancy incense burner. If I'm right, however, it could mean a whole lot more. Those of us who have been involved in the Warcradle era of Wild West Exodus for a while now remember seeing a preview for a future Enlightened posse called the Soul Hunters. The original preview was done back in October of 2017 for Beasts of War. Unfortunately, the video itself was taken down when Warcradle decided to rework the posse around the beginning of this year. Jump forward in time a bit to Adepticon, and we get the initial announcement of Lost World Exodus. For those of you unfamiliar with this, it's a sister game to Wild West Exodus that will have all of the great powers from the dystopian age rushing to a specific portion of Antarctica where the wreckage of a Watcher terraforming unit is going haywire and creating all kinds of crazy stuff. Gameplay-wise, Lost World Exodus will use the same rules as Wild West Exodus with a few specific changes. The rules will be fully compatible with one another, though there won't be any narrative reason to support something like the Prussian Imperium fighting Jesse James, for example. Think of it as the dystopian age equivalent of War Machine and Hordes. Got it? Good. Let's continue. During the initial announcement, we found out that the Soul Hunters posse was shifted over to Lost World Exodus as they felt it fit better there than in Wild West Exodus. I dug around online a bit and was only able to find this, admittedly grainy image of the Soul Hunters artwork still up, but it does show the same style of incense burner on the character in the bottom right that we see in the spoiler image. So what does this mean, in my opinion? Lost World Exodus is coming this year. See what I mean about the baseless speculation? The initial plan was to launch Dystopian Wars first, with Lost World Exodus following shortly thereafter in 2019. But it's already September, and the Dystopian Wars beta didn't end until July, and we haven't heard anything new about the game since then, aside from some additional artwork on the Warcradle blog. There isn't a whole lot of 2019 left, and the holiday season is rapidly approaching in retail terms. If there's been a delay of some sort with Dystopian Wars, then it might be in the studio's best interest to keep the dystopian age momentum going by not delaying the release of Lost World Exodus as well. If I'm right about the spoiler image, and admittedly that's a big if, then this would mean that an official announcement on Lost World Exodus will be coming around the end of the month, with the full release happening around the last week of October. This would allow retailers to make sure they had the game in stock for the Christmas season as well, to give both fans and Warcradle something to help take advantage of potential Black Friday spending sprees. If you remember the initial launch of Wild West Exodus, there were about 5 posse boxes that were available at launch, as well as the 2-player starter set. Armored Justice, Father of the Enlightened, Confederate Rebellion, Tribal Retribution, and No Surrender. It's possible the Soul Hunters posse, or whatever their Lost World Exodus equivalent will be part of the game's core launch or part of whatever starter set is released. While I can see the benefit of having them in the starter box to act as a sort of a bridge between Wild West Exodus and Lost World Exodus and the dystopian age as a whole, it would probably make more sense for the Soul Hunters to be a separate release alongside the starter. Only time will tell though, and we'll see if I'm right or not at the end of the month. So that's going to do it for me today. Stay tuned for more Wild West Exodus and hopefully, fingers crossed, Lost World Exodus content in the near future. Take care, everyone.